Hi Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your October 2021 full moon reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will all be listed and linked in the description box below. Now before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds, letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. Let's let the bowls sing as we see what the tarot has to say. How will Aquarius be affected by the October 2021 full moon? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Oh, goodness. Show me clearly. That one. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Oh, okay. There we go. At the bottom is our rooted self. The left-hand side is our inner self. The middle, our heart, our emotional self. The right-hand side, the public arena, the public self. So let's see what the cards have to say. We have the Death card, which is Scorpio energy. Here, if we have Scorpio within our natal chart, that's going to come through very powerfully at our root. And then we have the Lovers, which is Gemini energy. So if we have Gemini also within our natal chart, that also comes through very powerfully at our root. We have the Five of Wands. Things happen rather quickly. And the Two of Wands, the Two of Fire, there is a sense of healing here, but there's also a sense of a greater expanse opening up. And it's almost like we're finding the water, which I don't know what that means yet. We're finding the water, we're finding the emotions, we're finding something more. And it has to do around passion, but it also has to do around the heart. So let's look at our emotional self. We have the Three of Wands. We have the King of Wands. Like the Knight of Wands, things start opening up to us, right? The Knight of Wands, this is the Aries full moon, so that's going to be very powerful for us. Also fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. If we have fire sign energy within the natal chart, this is going to come through very powerfully at the heart, but also this moon is going to hit us at the heart a bit more than we're expecting. Chariot energy, which is Cancer, and then we have the Five of Swords. We're facing something that we have faced before. It's coming up again, the Chariot, Cancer energy. So if we have that within our natal chart, that's coming through here, but we're also learning how to hone the emotions. Our emotions are going to be leading us this way. Our passions are going to be leading us this way. And it's almost like we don't know which one to follow first. So that's going to be something where it feels like, oh my gosh, I have to make this choice again. Like I have to be in this situation, but the doors are opening and I don't want the doors to close. So do be mindful about that. It leads us to the public arena, the Page of Swords, which is us. We're coming through as a student. We are air sign energy, which is also Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. So here we have this amplifying the Gemini energy at our root. And then we have the Nine of Pentacles. This is gratitude, yes, but this is also a sense of like, enjoy a job well done. We're not going to really enjoy a job well done. We're going to sit there and look at the next thing and look at the next thing. Excuse me. and push ourselves and say, oh, I should have done this, or oh, I should have done that. It's like, no, enjoy a job well done, because you're going to be hit with more. Like, life doesn't just stop coming. So here, just be mindful of that things are going to start speeding up again, and things aren't going to be it's not going to be that sense of, okay, you can just enjoy where you are. It's going to be that sense of like, okay, let's go, let's see what's coming. And we get to calm down from that energy. And that energy of the speed and the one thing after another. We're kind of tired of that. We really are. So let's look at the energy to be mindful of. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. So we have here the Queen of Wands, fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. We have to not let the warrior aspect of this time take over us, because it easily can. And we go from that healing, beautiful energy that we are, Aquarius, to that sense of, I will not let anybody get ahead of me type of thing. I have to take care of me first, and everybody else can get sorted out later. So here we just have to be mindful of that energy, because it's going to come in. And we're also going to be very drawn to people who are very passionate, who are very powerful, who are very determined, who are very focused, but not necessarily in a compassionate way, in a way of, I have goals, I have things that need to be done. Either you can accept this, great. If you can't accept this, also great. Just move out of my way. And we're going to take this to heart. It's not us, it's them, which sounds like, a breakup line, but it's not. It's really them. It's really going to be what they have to work through. And we're going to think, well, can't you just make time for me? And of course, if we come from like a family where it was always work and we never had time made for us, we're going to feel like, oh my gosh, here it goes again, and it's going to be the heart and the work coming that's putting us at odds. And we can feel this way with a partner. We can feel this way with children. We can feel this way with, just our lives in general. It's like, okay, I just get to be forgotten again. And that's not the case, Aquarius. Don't let anybody make you feel forgotten. Our chakra energy, angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Soul's healing. This is the soul star chakra, located 6 inches above our crown. There's a sense of healing light grounding us, healing light moving us forward. We'll feel this. We'll feel this at times where we feel alone, when we feel overwhelmed, and we're just going to feel this centering coming in, this sense of, oh, there's so much more here than meets the eye, and so that's going to be a big deal. So just be aware of that. So let's talk about this astrologically. On the 20th of October, we have the full moon in Aries. So this full moon comes in, it's the warrior, it's, determined. We know that we have to be mindful of its energy, but we're also going to be led by its energy, and it's going to really impact our heart. On the 4th of November, we have the new moon in Scorpio. We're actually going to be very pulled to that at our rooted self, okay? There's going to be something here where like things start to change around the 4th, but there's going to be a separate reading done on that, so we'll get to see more into that. On the 19th of November, Taurus, the full moon is in Taurus, and this is also a lunar eclipse. So this is going to be a very, very powerful time. The full moon brings home, family, and close relationships into focus for the next 2 weeks, for at least the next 2 weeks. If we're moon sensitive, if we're more sensitive about these things, the things that come up, they linger with us a lot longer than just 2 weeks. What we're going to be seeing here is that we can feel out of balance during this time. We can feel as if we need to fix everything right away. And what Spirit is saying is like, don't fix everything right away. Let things be a little bit messy. Let things be a little bit chaotic. Conflict can build, and it can take over our whole entire existence and our whole entire, acknowledgement of what we want. We have to acknowledge the chaotic energy. We have to acknowledge the energy drain, and then step into ourselves. Now let me just take a sip of water. This moves us to the fact that this moon is a sacred moon in many cultures. This is because of its correlation and its, combined power with the hunting season and the preparation for the winter if we're in the northern hemisphere. This is the hunter's moon. This is the blood moon. This is the blood sacrifice made to keep us going, to keep our ancestors going. This is the sense of preparation for harshness, intensity to come. That's why when we have the 9 of Pentacles and it's saying enjoy, it's like enjoy this time, because there's going to be more intensity to come, especially if we're in the northern hemisphere. The winter comes in. If you live someplace cold like I do, it can be, the winters can be harsh and they can be intense, but they are also absolutely beautiful. So in the southern hemisphere, this is the moon that brings us closer to the lush months of summer, but we're also going to be getting ready for that intensity of heat, for that sense of things becoming becoming more. And we're going to be stepping into a power that's a little bit more languid, a little bit more, it's going to be hotter energy, okay? It's going to be building up in that heat and in that passion. The full moon in Aries is opposite Mars, the god of war, and is also opposite Pluto, the god of death. Do not rush into anything. Don't make any quick decisions. We're going to regret them. So we're going to find that if we just decide things instantaneously, which is what we're really drawn to do, we're really drawn to deciding things instantaneously, to just pushing forward, going forward, we're going to find that we regret, that we are, driven by our passion, but we're also going to be driven by I have to make this decision as quickly and as possibly and as, succinctly as possible. And Spirit's saying, no, take a little bit more time because you're going to enjoy the decision that you make better. The full moon opposite Mars gives us the strong need to have our desires fulfilled. Again, we are driven by passion, but we have to be careful that our moodiness and our impulsiveness and our anger doesn't get in the way, because it's going to wind up keeping us from our goals. We're also going to see, because this is the planetary alignment, that other people have the same problem. So everybody has a little bit of a short fuse during this time. Passion tends to override everything. Everybody's a bit moody. Everybody wants to have things done yesterday, and they're going to be snippy. So we just have to be aware of that. Maybe make allowance for that energy when we see it coming into our lives. Not necessarily saying I have to accept being treated badly, but very much saying, I see what's happening here and I'm not getting drawn into this drama. That's going to be really important. We are more emotional than we are rational, which is something that we expect actually here, and we are very used to leading with the heart, and so we have to lead with the heart. For the best results from this moon, we have to understand that negativity comes in, negative energy vibration drives us down, and this is why anger needs to be turned into focus, into drive, into power, moving us forward. Because if we use this anger to move us forward, to get us to where we want to be, to open up the door, that becomes a game changer. Because we're going to see that we have all this energy, but if we focus it on what we truly want, if we focus it on the bigger picture, we change the game. This moon finds us and helps us to act more towards our goals and our greater good by challenging us. So that's going to be something very interesting. Now, the full moon is squared Pluto, which brings up deeply buried feelings. Everything starts to surface. Things start to surface that we have pushed down for years upon years, decades upon decades. And now it's like, no, I'm not letting this toxicity be pushed down, be a part of me anymore. If it builds up, it can lead to debilitating, just stress and anxiety and fear and just being overwhelmed. But if we acknowledge this, if we look at this and say, okay, I need to release, either by journaling, by talking to a spiritual advisor, by, opening up myself to friends and family that I can trust, not people that I can't trust, people who can hold this sacred space for us, which sounds silly, but what we need is for somebody to listen to us, to take us in, to understand us in beauty and prosperity and brilliance, and not to try and change us, which is hard. I mean, even when I hear my family and friends talking, I'll be like, oh, what about this? And I'll say things and I'll think that wasn't the best thing to say, Dane. So also understand that even when people have the best intentions, if they give their opinions or they're, kind of preoccupied in the moment when they're listening, they might not say the right thing at the exact right time. That's why a spiritual advisor, somebody who has prepared themselves to hold sacred space for you, is really important and actually beneficial, because we'll find this to be a very cathartic time if we have that energy around us, or even just being able to journal, having ourselves connect with the energy, connect with where we are, and not think, oh my gosh, this is foolish, but just be able to write it out. And if we're afraid that somebody will read what we have written, we just burn it, just burn it, throw it into the fireplace, light a match, burn it over the sink, and let it go and say, okay, I'm done with this. Mars squared Pluto brings a strong drive towards success, but can also increase our desire to win at any cost, which is not going to be cute. Okay, so we can become controlling, ruthless, jealous, and underhanded. And also the people that we deal with during this time, controlling, ruthless, jealous, and underhanded, which is not a good look for anybody. So again, be mindful of that. Be mindful of this energy coming forward. People's egos are going to play a huge part during this time. People's egos are going to come first. They're going to precede them into the room, what they want to do, who they think they are, how great they think they are. And we can be looking at them and being like, why? Why are you so, cocky? What is this for? Do not be drawn into drama. Do not. We're going to want to be drawn into drama. We're going to see it as a really cool thing. Oh my gosh, let me gossip about this. Let me hear about that. get drama from television, get drama from, and not real people either. Like watch a, drama, a TV show, something make-believe on television. Read something make-believe in a book. Not true crime, not anything like that, because it messes with your head, all right? And just let yourself have the drama that way, and not through anything real, because we're going to wind up getting wrapped up in it. We're going to wind up, sitting there and being like, oh my gosh, can you believe this person? Can you believe that person? We'll talk as if we know them. We don't know them. So just be mindful about that. The full moon in Aries is most closely aligned with the fixed star Alfecca. Now, Alfecca is also known as Eta Pisceum. This star is of the nature of Saturn and Jupiter. It makes us prepared, determined, and successful. The star also rules the pineal gland, which influences and holds our spirituality. That's why a spiritual advisor, that's why embracing with the spiritual during this time is going to be so important for us. Alfecca is also the star of mysticism and, spirituality and religion. And so again, because of that pineal gland, because it ruling the pineal gland, we're going to find that we're very drawn to the spiritual. We have to make sure that we're not drawn to the corruption, to the darker, seedy underbelly of things, because we're going to also have this intrigue towards that. I see this coming up more for you, Aquarius, than I've actually seen it coming up for the other signs, where it's like, again, that true crime. It's that, things that really happen. It's like the celebrity gossip sort of things, but it's the things that really happen that we can start getting really pulled into, because they're going to be real, and we're going to be able to connect with them visually in one way or another. Nothing that happens with a Saturn-Jupiter conjunction with the fixed star Alfecca is going to be on a small scale. So this is a very powerful star. This is a very powerful time. Let's look at our root. We have the Death card, a dying away of the old self, the rebirth of the new. This moon, as it is a warrior moon, as it is the hunter's moon, as it is the blood moon, it calls to our blood. Think of our blood as an ocean within us. And so we're going to feel very drawn by this moon. We're going to feel very drawn by the energy that is around us. We're going to feel very drawn by, ideas and instincts and passions and powers. And so here we're going to feel like we're changing, and we're going to feel like this moon really does change us in one way or another. It might be a very small way. It might be a way that nobody else gets, but we're going to feel it very deeply and very powerfully. We're moving towards more of what we love, and we're also being seen when we're being pulled in. When is the power of acquisition taking over the power of our passion and our desire and what we really want within our life. And so here we're looking at love, but we're being told, what do you really love? What do you really want? And is it just because this looks good? Is it just because you think you're supposed to have it, or everybody will get jealous? Now it's time to embrace the energy of, this is what I really want. This is where I really stand. This is what's powerful. This is what's purposeful. This is what's, guiding for me. And it moves us to the 8 of fire. It moves us to the sense of things start happening really quickly once we start to embrace our hearts, and once we start to put what we love forward and also first. So there can be that energy of, even for us, do I choose work or do I choose family? Do I sacrifice this or do I sacrifice that? And we're going to have to lead with our heart. And that's going to be really where the most power comes from. The 8 of fire, everything starts to change. Everything starts to change inwardly. We see ourselves being pulled in a very specific direction. We see ourselves being pulled forward. And it's going to be the sense of a door opening that we didn't even know we had locked on ourselves. And this is something that we've almost done to ourselves. And it doesn't mean that we had to cognitively, do this. We didn't have to, sit there and say, okay, I'm going to close this door on me. I can't possibly do this. But we could have said, no, this isn't the right time. But what we also have here is this energy of, I didn't think this was an option for me. I didn't think this door could be opened to me. So with the 2 of wands, we start to see ourselves moving forward towards something more powerful and insightful for ourselves. Again, we're being led by the water. And so that's also by healing, but it's also to a place that would be populated, because I'm just seeing follow the water, follow the river, follow the path, and you'll find the people, you'll find what you're looking for. So it can be that we also just have to follow our emotions, and we'll find kind of our people, our clan, our tribe, our people that we connect with. And that's going to be very powerful for us. It's going to be a sense of, oh, I feel like I've come home. But it can also be that we start to, follow our own emotional strands and connect with the people that we've been in past lives, connect with the energy that has been a part of us for so long. And it's like we're honoring that ancient ancestry, but we're honoring the ancient ancestry of our own soul's progression. It moves us to the Three of Wands, and the Three of Wands is like the door is open. The door is open. We've opened it. We've seen it opened here in our inner selves in a very real way. And our heart is saying, I want an adventure. I want an adventure. I want to open up that door. I want to go. I want to see. I want to, become. And we can actually be a little bit afraid of moving forward with the confidence that we might have had, a year ago, or, better, before all this started with the world and everything, where we were much more confident with going out. Now we can have anxiety. I know I myself feel anxious sometimes when I go to new places, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so weird. Like, just calm down. You're okay, type of thing. So just to acknowledge that within us, also to acknowledge that we're changing. We're changing the way that we interact just from everything that we've been through, everything that we've experienced. And it doesn't even have to be like on this world scale. It's just everything that we've felt personally, everything that we've had to deal with internally throughout our whole entire lives. And that has changed the projection of the way that we're moving forward from what maybe we had envisioned when we were like 15 years old. And we thought, okay, I'll do this and I'll do that, and everything will just be so easy. And now we're starting to find that it hasn't been easy. It has been a lot more complex than we thought it was going to be. It moves us to the Knight of Wands. And there's a sense here of like the knight protecting the king, or the knight having to learn how to become a king. And so during this time, we're heading in different directions than our emotions here. But it's like, I have to protect this, because this is I always... I don't know. It's Welsh. There's too many letters in it for me right now to remember how to pronounce it. But this is the god of the sea in Welsh mythology. So here we have a sense of my passion is protecting these emotions, is protecting the depth of the ocean, the soul, the power of myself. And we're going to find that we are heading in two separate directions. We're going to think passionately, I should be moving this way. Emotionally, I should be moving this way. And inevitably, the knight has to protect the king. That's just going to be something that's really important here for us. We have to protect our long-term investment in ourselves, our long-term goals for what we want. It moves us to the Five of Swords. And the Five of Swords is very much saying here, you're going to have to face something that you faced before. And again, it's going to be that pull between the passionate and the emotional, or the, practical and the emotional. And we're going to think, oh my gosh, I have to deal with this again. I have to deal with feeling forgotten, feeling as if I'm a burden, or, people not understanding where I'm coming from, or, feeling as if I have to start watching my words so intensely. Here, with the Five of Swords, it's like, acknowledge you. Acknowledge the power, acknowledge the brilliance, acknowledge the insight of you, and move forward with your truth, with your essence guiding you. Because nobody will take away your power. Nobody. And this is a time where we're going to be faced with things that we feel like, oh my gosh, that is taking away my power. That is taking away my voice. No. In the public arena, we are a student of our voice, of what we desire, of what we want. We're cutting through so much, and we're starting to see more than we realized. And then we realized we needed to see, more than we realized we needed to acknowledge. The Page of Swords here is very much telling us we're becoming a student. We're becoming a student of our insight, of our ideas, of where it is that we want it to be, of where it is that we want to be, of how it is that we want to move forward, of, all these different things. And we're looking at things with like this openness of a child. And it does mean that people can take advantage of us. It does, because we're going to have a little bit of an innocence to us that isn't bad. It's not, we can be a little bit naive, yes, but it's not going to be bad. It's going to be the sense of my heart is open, and I'm open to new adventures, new ideas. If that means that, not everything works out along the way, that's okay. That's part of the experience that has made me. We have to be wise about things, though. The sword is the weapon of nobility. We have nobility within our blood, within our desire, within ourself. During this time, there's a sense of I'm working towards something greater than I have imagined. It moves us to the Nine of Pentacles, and the Nine of Pentacles here is just like enjoy, even though this is a crazy, complex, intense time, even though everybody's ego is trying to take over. Enjoy the beautiful moments. Enjoy the hard work paying off, because there are going to be really beautiful moments of the hard work paying off, of us being like, this is what it's for. This is what I desire. This is what I want. This is what I need. And the Nine of Pentacles comes in, and it's like, yes, this is what I I get to savor within my life. So savor those really good moments because they are coming. And yet with everything going on, we can be like, oh yeah, okay, that worked out fine. I don't have to worry about it. Just move forward and we'll go to the next fire instead of sitting there and saying, you know what, the fire isn't actually a fire. I don't need to make everything perfect right now. It can just kind of be for a moment. I get to celebrate the fact that things are paying off, the fact that I am moving forward, the fact that, things are going well. Let's see what the moon has to say for herself. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides, angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. We have peace and we have meditation. So during this time at our root, we need to know that meditating is going to bring us peace. Meditating is going to bring us harmony. It's going to center us in a way that we really need to be centered during this time, during this moon. The unexpected, expect powerful change. The fact that the unexpected brings powerful change is going to be something that we have to be aware of because we're going to think, okay, twists and turns are coming. We're going to want to keep things on track. We're going to want to say, no, it has to walk down that road. It has to make those turns. It has to go just like this. And what Spirit is saying here is like, no, the unexpected is coming in and it brings powerful change. And it's a good thing. And the powerful change is around the new moon, but also around the darkness, around the sense of the deepening of our connection with our inner selves. Then we have our emotional self, which we have will, a fiery climax approach. And it's almost like will a fiery climax approach? Here it's an exclamation point, will, and then a fiery climax approach. There's a sense of we're questioning this. We're questioning if there will be a powerful change with the full moon in Aries. And this is the full moon in Aries. So that comes through here, the fiery climax approaches. This is a time where the fires start to change things, where the passion comes forward, where it really pushes us. And our air sign energy feeds that fire, feeds that intensity. Then we have our public arena self. And this is realization. The end of a rough cycle approaches. The end of a tough cycle approaches. It's like we realize we're the key. We realize we hold a heck of a lot more than we thought we held. And that brings the end of a tough cycle. That brings a sense of like, oh, I've just come home. Like I've just figured out what I've been looking for so long. It moves us to our subconscious lunar message, which is discernment. Don't let everybody in. And that might sound like a rude thing to say, but it's kind of like, it's kind of like you wouldn't invite everybody in the whole entire world over to your house for dinner. You just wouldn't. Some people you don't like. Some people you don't want to know. And so here, the discernment is like, be kind and cordial to everyone, but also don't put yourself in a vulnerable position because you're trying to be nice, because you're trying to be something that person can't accept and can't, be a part of. So just be mindful of that. And then we have here, luck is on your side. Discernment. It's like, again, be discerning about the energy you let in because luck is on your side. You're taking aim. And if you, try, it's even like with this hunter's full moon. If you try to hit everything, you won't hit. You might hit a few things, but you'll just waste all your arrows and be out of luck. But if you slowly stalk and take aim, well, then that's when you'll find yourself hitting the mark. The subconscious energy to be mindful of is Aquarius energy. That's us. We can have a tendency during this time to get in our own way. And we will get in our own way. We'll get in our own head. We'll try to do too much. We'll try to be too much, too nice to too many people. Things will remind us of, feeling like a burden. And there's just something here with feeling like a burden that it starts to erode our confidence. And Spirit is saying here, like, no, don't let that happen. Our subconscious chakra energy is meditation. We need to connect with our heart. We need to connect with our passion and our desire, and that's going to be really important for us. Our subconscious rooted energy is the world. The world starts to open. We start to open to the world. And this is a time where we see the seasons changing, we see ourselves changing, but we also know there's something more here than meets the eye. It brings us to our subconscious inner self, which is offering, which is Virgo energy. And this is very much a sense of what I am offering to the earth, what I'm offering to myself, what the earth is giving back to me as I make these sacrifices, but also as I become this aware being of my present, of my past lives, of, the nature connection and the spirit of nature. And these offerings are more than just for us. They're for so much that is still to come. Our subconscious emotional self is the Two of Wands. Again, we see ourselves moving forward in a very real way. The crystal ball is like we're seeing into the future and we're seeing into the present. We can be taken over by the future. We really can be. We can be, sitting there and thinking, oh, but if I do this and if I do that, that will help me for my future self. And oh my gosh, I can't believe I did this, 18 million years ago. That's not going to help my future me. It's like, no, be in the present right now. Stop trying to figure everything out because you won't be able to. You just won't be able to, Aquarius. Life will take twists and turns that you just don't expect. Our subconscious public arena self is the Four of Cups. A gift is coming in. It doesn't look like a gift. It isn't nicely wrapped. It's actually, with the cups here, they're all very nice cups, but I always see this as like the fourth cup being offered is like this cup made of clay. We wouldn't pick it up at the store. We wouldn't think, oh my gosh, that's a really good cup. But yet, if we knew who made it, if we knew what it held, if we knew the healing within it, we would definitely pick up the cup. But because it's not packaged the way that we want it to be, or the way that our eyes say it should be, we're going to kind of walk past it. So just be mindful of that. But it is going to be something that feels like a burden, feels like, oh my gosh, now I have extra work to do. And it's just going to be weighing us down. It's going to weigh us down for a moment before it starts to change the way that we move forward. It also starts to change what's really valuable to us. Okay. All right, Aquarius, I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power and the prosperity of this full moon. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Aquarius, and may you have a blessed moon.